huge new bombshells on Tucker Carlson, some big stuff on Trump, a massive story on DeSantis that's not good for DeSantis, which is good for, all of us. So just a lot to cover today. Welcome. If you're new, you're going to enjoy this channel. Here we go.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. It sure is. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm not sure if Steve's going to be back today. I talked to Steve yesterday afternoon on the phone, and he was so sick. I said, Steve, I feel like I'm going to get sick just talking to you over the phone. And he's like, well, he says, I don't think it passes that. And I don't think it passes that way. He was so sick in his fever and everything. He didn't even get my joke. But anyway, maybe it was a bad joke. Welcome to the program. We have a lot to cover today. There is a massive news story that involves Ron DeSantis, our governor of Florida, who's undermining the great President Trump, and it ain't good for DeSantis. Huge news story on Tucker Carlson and what's going on with him. A couple of big stories on him, but one of them's massive, and some big Trump stuff too. We got a lot to cover on today's program. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and of course tell all your friends about this program and lock your radio dial preset on number 1 to whatever radio station you're listening to us on, all right? Now, I just, little personal disclosure here. I found something out about an hour ago that really bugged me big time, I must tell you. The last couple of days, I've not been feeling too well in the mornings. I've just not been feeling too well, and I couldn't exactly explain what was going on. I'm not sick, I don't have an illness, but I've been off the last couple of days, and that's a terrible thing when you're doing a 3-hour radio broadcast to feel off. Something was off. I was having a very difficult time. I was feeling sick the last couple of days. Not like cold or anything, but something was wrong. My mind was a little foggy. And the last 2 days, yesterday in particular, but the last 2 days, I've had a major migraine headache during the show. And I didn't share this with you guys because, well, I just didn't. And then this morning, I'm getting my coffee from the Starbucks, and the guy that serves me the coffee, he says, hey, could you take a sip of that? And I get the, those of you that are Starbucks people, I get the Cafe Americano. I know it sounds all fancy. American coffee, it's espresso. And it's 4 shots of espresso and then a lot of hot boiling water. And I said, no. I said, it's like boiling hot. I can't drink it yet. But why do you want me to taste the coffee? Which just seemed like a bizarre thing. Could I taste the coffee before I drive off? And he says, well, the espresso machine, he says, you're the first customer. This is not the usual guy that I see there. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen this guy at this Starbucks before. And he says, well, our espresso machine it doesn't work very well. And when you make the first cup of coffee for the day, it doesn't shoot out espresso, it just shoots out water. So could you take a sip to make sure it tastes like it's got the 4 shots of espresso in it? And I said, what? He said, yeah, the machine's broken. So I said, so the first cup it makes, it doesn't have, and he's like, no. Well, then I knew what was wrong. And I said, how long has it been broken? He said since Monday. Since Monday. So I often tell you guys, I am addicted to coffee like Hunter Biden is addicted to crack and Russian and Ukrainian hookers, okay? And what's been going on with me the last 2 days on the air is I've been going through withdrawals because I have not been getting, they've been giving me flavored water without espresso when I'm used to having 4 shots of espresso in the morning. And the migraine headache is withdrawal. The cloudiness in my thought is the withdrawal. And luckily the guy told me today. And I said, well, pour that cup out and then make another cup. And, oh my goodness. They're killing me here. They're killing me. They're trying to kill me at the Starbucks. Well, that's what happened. I tell you. You know what the big problem is with Starbucks other than their wokeness? I have to hide all my Trump stuff, so they don't, do something to my coffee. The prices are high too, but the prices and their wokeness, but they're not, they're just a little, they're a little arrogant over there. The baristas are a little arrogant and full of themselves. They think that I don't know what they think they are, but I just know that they've been trying to kill me over at the Starbucks this week. So the last couple of days, I don't know if you guys noticed it, because usually when I'm not feeling well, I gripe about it. And I just didn't gripe about it the last couple days. But I've been going through caffeine withdrawals. Oh, my goodness. Thanks a lot, Starbucks. You're disrupting the MAGA train. But I had them pour out that cup, make me a new cup, and I've got my 4 shots of espresso right here. They didn't even offer me any refunds for the past 2 days that I've been drinking flavored hot water in the morning. No wonder. I went home. I got off the air yesterday. I called my wife. I said, I don't know what's going on. I've got this massive headache. Anyway, there's lots of fish to fry on the program today. I first want to do a quick follow-up to something yesterday. Then we'll break, and I'm going to get into the major bombshells involving Ron DeSantis. Oh, boy. When's the last time Governor DeSantis has had good news? So I'm going to get into that huge thing with Tucker Carlson and a whole bunch more. But I want to do a quick follow-up. This is very important. Trump's CNN town hall, I got a lot of feedback on yesterday's show that, they're liberals. Why is he going? Why do you want him to go there? Why do you want... This is a very important event. This town hall that President Trump is doing next week on CNN very well may be the most important television interview President Trump has ever done. And this is why. Preaching to the choir is one thing, but proselytizing to those that are not yet on the Trump train can be very constructive, okay? Trump rallies and Trump speeches have not been covered by the mainstream corporate media for years now. Years. People that get their news and information from CNN, and I got news for you, it's a lot of people. They don't know Trump. They don't know what he thinks. Their opinions of Trump, those viewers, are negative. There's no doubt about it. It's enemy territory, and the CNN viewership, which is large, millions of people worldwide, they hate him, but they don't know him or what he thinks about all the issues or anything. All they know about President Trump, their opinions, the CNN viewers, their opinions are based on an image that's been crafted by liberal anchors, the Don Lemon types, Jim Acosta, the Brian Stelters, and a bunch of liberal pundits and jerks on CNN, all right? And when Trump starts I hope he does a lot of interviews on left-wing media. When he starts doing interviews on left-wing media, yeah, they're going to ask him terrible questions. But President Trump's brilliant and great. Okay? And President Trump, when he does these things, like the CNN town hall next week, millions of people are going to say, wow, I like this guy. Wow. I thought he was all these terrible things. And he's so reasonable. And with this thing, he's right on the money. This war, he's right. It's going to be a big awakening. You know, preaching to the choir doesn't help us win as if we bring in converts, okay? We need to proselytize to these liberal loons and independents, and this is how you do it. And I think it's a brilliant move. People that watch CNN have not heard President Trump speak about anything in about 3 years. The whole last year of President Trump's presidency was hijacked by, the pandemic. He's going to be on there talking about issues for the first time that are affecting us all. Bank failures, inflation, food prices. He knows food prices because he has to buy it for the restaurants in his resorts and hotels. He knows about food prices, believe me. So that CNN interview, town hall next week, is going to be the beginning of something great, and very well, in my opinion, it could very well end up being the most important television interview President Trump has done so far. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I've got my caffeine, thankfully. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman.
Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining the program, welcome to the show. Make sure you all like the video. I mean, I can even tell a difference in my voice today after the last couple of days.
And your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an
Hey, you guys in the chat, what time do you guys wake up in the morning? I'm just curious, because right here on the East Coast, it's 6:17 a.m. I woke up today, my alarm went off at 2:30 a.m. What time do you guys wake up in the morning? Just curious. Maybe you've been up all night. Put the time zone, too, if you don't mind. I know some of you already have done it. 4 a.m., a lot of 4 a.m.ers, 3 a.m.ers, 12:30 a.m.ers. Wow. 4 to 5. Wow. Early risers. Early risers. 2:30. You know, I love being up early. I get more done. I leave my house about 4:45, 5 o'clock. I get more done in that 2.5 hours at home than like the whole rest of my day at home. It's amazing how much I get done at those early hours. I love it. Yes. We're the early morning graveyard crew here. Depending on what time zone you're in, you know. I love it.
We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
All right.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show. 9 FM and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty. We are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I tell you, I can even tell a difference in my voice since I'm not drinking flavored hot water like I've been doing. A couple days, I got iced coffee, I think, yesterday. So I was drinking flavored ice water yesterday. Thanks a lot, barista. I tell you, these with their preferred pronouns and everything else going on. Easy. Now, Mother's Day is right around the corner, and Father's Day is 1 month after that. And you will find great gift ideas at mypillow.com. And I'm going to talk about quite a few of them throughout the next week or so for Mother's Day. The MyPillow 2.0 is amazing. My wife and I sleep on the MyPillow 2.0. It's an upgraded version of the MyPillow that started it all. Of course, it has Mike Lindell's patented fill that he invented inside, but the material on the outside of the pillow has cooling technology, so your head and face never get hot or warm. Your head and face are always the perfect temperature all night long. My wife says it's great for women who have menopause because, you know, getting those night sweats and everything is a big part of menopause. And yeah, and you'll never flip your pillow over again. And this is a twofer, because it's buy one, get one free, the MyPillow 2.0, with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. So if you go to mypillow.com, you get two for the price of one with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. So you give mom hers on Mother's Day. You don't tell dad, you keep the other one. And by the time Father's Day gets here, well, he's going to want it. He's going to wish, hey, man, I wish I had one of those pillows, and it'll be a big surprise for dad on Father's Day. The MyPillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right. This business with Tucker Carlson, you've heard about the massive exodus of viewers. The exodus of viewers to Fox News Channel is just off the charts. I mean, if you took the viewers that left and just sent them to a network, they'd be like number 2. They're losing that many, and it's all day long, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse because word is spreading. And I'm going to make a prediction here. I could be wrong, but I think I'm spot on with this. What Fox News has done, by getting rid of Tucker Carlson, you know, there was no scandal. They just don't like the guy because he's been saying things that they don't want out on the air. What's he been doing? Honest reporting. Honest reporting, okay? And that's why they took him off the air. But, and the way they're treating him in the aftermath, they haven't fired him. He still works for them. They're just not putting him on the air. And they're trying to put this off as long as they can because they're trying to separate him from his audience, and they're also trying to make him unemployable. They're trying to frighten other outlets from hiring him by leaking a bunch of slanders and half-truths about him. There's a new one which I'm going to get to in a moment. But this is, and they're trying to put this off as long as they can with a non-compete that may be in effect until after the election, okay? But this is the prediction I'm making here. I believe that the firing of Tucker Carlson by Fox News Channel, when this is all done and the dust settles, this will be the moment that is the end of cable news as we know it. Cable news as a powerhouse is over, and it's over with this moment. The time of cable news having an influence over everything in our lives is over because of Tucker Carlson and the way he was treated with this firing. It's over. And alt media, like what we're doing right here, that's not controlled by these corporate interests that have the military-industrial complex over them, or a company that releases motion pictures and they got to say nice things because they don't want to alienate the Chinese market. You know, all these things that are factoring in to cable news these days. And the last couple of days, there have been outtakes of Tucker Carlson released to Media Matters that are, because cameras are always rolling, and they have him complaining about the Fox Nation app. You've probably seen that. Complaining about what clothes they're trying to get him to wear. You may have seen that. And then they got something where they're doing his hair and he drops an F-bomb. And these outtakes just make him look normal. Other than the profanity, you see that he's the same way on the air and off the air. And that's not common. I've known so many broadcasters that are so different when the mic is off. Oh, my goodness. You probably have too, Mike. Oh, my goodness. And it's night and day with a lot of people, let me tell you. There was, I don't want to give any hints, but I've met more than one broadcaster that is currently on the air that fan of for a longest time, some of them since I was a kid, and then I see them when the mic's off, and they're like monsters. Like you ever see like Don Imus in the Howard Stern movie? There's a lot of that going. But Tucker Carlson, like me, is the same way off the air that he is on the air, and that's a good thing. But they're releasing these things to Media Matters, and this is very troubling because Media Matters has been on a mission for however long they've been in existence, 15 years, maybe more, to destroy Fox News. That's what Media Matters' entire mission has been, to destroy Fox News for all these years. You've probably heard Hannity talk about them. And now we find out that the organization whose entire purpose has been an attempt to destroy Fox News for over a decade has now partnered with Fox News against Tucker Carlson. This would be like if President Trump had partnered with the Lincoln Project. It's that bad. Media Matters has been to Fox what the Lincoln Project is to Trump, if that makes sense, because a lot of people may not be familiar with Media Matters. People in media are. You understand? So Fox News is now partnered with this left-wing George Soros-funded conservative media destroyer known as Media Matters against Tucker Carlson. That in itself is troubling. So we're going to take our break at the bottom of the hour. And Fox News has released more slanderous things about Tucker Carlson that you're going to hear about first after the break as an attempt to slander him, alienate him from his audience, and attempt to make him unemployable. And they're trying to cancel Tucker Carlson while they're partnered with Media Matters. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. I am a highly caffeinated Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Major expressways crash free this morning, but two local routes on Jupiter and all overnight construction has been cleared. We have a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder on 95 and northbound approaching point to Beach Boulevard, also on the southbound side of I-95 approaching Jog Road. We do have a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder on the turnpike heading southbound approaching Lakewood Road. The surface routes are crash free. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com, and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic, Chris Barr.
Traffic is service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out this Friday for dinner and a show with the hilarious Jimmy Schubert live at the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC. Jimmy is a Last Comic Standing finalist, actor,
Oh, yeah. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me here.
Seems to work, but there is an easy solution to your problem. This is Brian Craig, and I want to introduce you to Elegant Youth, located right next door to any lab test now in Boca, and the revolutionary fat contouring method, Cool Sculpting Elite. Cool Sculpting Elite is non-invasive, FDA approved, and is perfect for those who want to shape and contour their body without resorting to surgery or liposuction. With Cool Sculpting Elite, you can eliminate stubborn fat and
Well, it's not. My prediction isn't that it's the end of Fox News. I don't think they'll recover from it. I think it's the end of cable news, which is an oversaturated thing. If you guys remember back in the 90s, there were all these daytime talk shows, Sally Jesse Raphael, not just Springer, Geraldo. There were like Jenny Jones. Remember all these different shows? Montel and all these different shows. And they went away, and that's what's happening with cable news. It's the end of cable news dominance.
When you become a patient of One Life Health and Performance, you can be sure that your health and wellness goals will be personalized and achievable. Our team will be by your side every step of the way to make looking and feeling your best not just a dream, but a reality. Visit OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com to be your best, most healthy self today. OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on
Of course, Paul Harvey, absolutely. Then there was Paul Harvey Jr.
They're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes.
Yeah, when I first started working in talk radio, they played Paul Harvey every morning. I don't remember if it was Paul Harvey or Paul Harvey Jr. I don't know. When did Paul Harvey pass? And 5 a.m. early. And I remember I used to have to do the editing for the Paul Harvey thing, but I can't remember if it was Paul Harvey or Jr.
Any lab test now in Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now in Boca at 561-237.
What I really think what they should do is do a Paul Harvey with Rush. Rush, all those years of shows they have endless commentary that is not dated and relevant on all the issues you could imagine. That could be like a Paul Harvey moment, but with Rush. Well, thank you, Robbie.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, we're back 33 minutes after the hour. It is Wednesday. I'm Brian Craig. Callers on hold, stand by. Okay, so the Fox News, just to do a quick recap, and then we got the big update, and then we'll take some calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, just to be clear, my prediction isn't that this is the end of Fox News. I don't think they'll ever recover. I think with the way Fox News treated Tucker, this is the end of the dominance of cable news. I think cable news, the 24-hour cable news cycle as we currently know it, is over. And if you remember back in the early and mid-90s, television during the day was dominated by talk shows. Not just Jerry Springer, Sally Jesse Raphael, Jenny Jones, Montel Williams. There were a whole bunch of them. They were on all day long. Remember that? And then they faded away. And that's what's going to happen with cable news. This is the end of the dominance of the 24-hour cable news cycle as we currently know it. I'm here to tell you. Alt media is on the rise. That's what we are. Alt media. That's right. That's what this is. This program is alt media. That's right. And I've been in corporate media. Steve and I, this is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. We had we worked at a big corporate place in Miami, and we had a program director. Whenever I talk to him, I tell Steve he's just like Pig Vomit in the Howard Stern movie. Same guy. He would come in during the breaks and tell us, change topic. Don't talk about that. You've talked about that too long. That soundbite, delete it. Don't ever play that. All the time. I mean, he was like a conductor of an orchestra. That didn't last long. He had an assistant program director. This is how long ago it was. He had an assistant program director to keep watch over what we said on the air. This was a short-lived event because the assistant program director, he sat in his office listening to us, but the internet was new. And a lot of people still did not have internet-connected computers at home. And the assistant program director monitor would sit in his office with the door closed all the time. And I couldn't figure out why he did that. Why does he always got the door closed while he's in there listening to us? And then, not me, thank the Lord it was not me. Someone went into the office without knocking, and our assistant program director, he was like Christopher Columbus and Neil Armstrong. He was one of the first men to discover internet pornography, and he was in his office watching porn. And I don't even know, that was during the days of dial-up. So here we are in dial-up internet, and he was watching porn, and he was telling us what we should be doing on the air. Can you imagine? Oh boy, that was the end of that guy. I can't remember who walked in on him. Thank the Lord it was not me. I would not have wanted to see that. I haven't thought about that jerk or guy in a long time. But anyway, Fox News, Fox News have partnered with Media Matters to bring down Tucker Carlson. One, they're trying to alienate him from his audience base. And two, they're leaking things out to make him unemployable, unattractive to others, trying to make him look like just a nasty guy, right? But which he's not. I think the clips look cool. Well, now they've leaked out some text messages. They leaked out a text message, and this is in left-wing Mediaite. They leaked out Fox News, and Megyn Kelly says that the PR person, the person in charge of the publicity office at Fox News, that she's behind it. She even calls her out by name, and Megyn Kelly knows these people. So here's the headline. Read the text message from Tucker Carlson that set off a panic at Fox News. Quote, this is a quote from the text message. "It's not how white men fight," unquote. Here's the text message. Now, I'm reading from Mediaite, okay? And I've got to read slowly because there may be some language that I can't use on the air. Callers on hold, stand by. When I get through this, we'll take some calls at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, I'm reading from Mediaite, left-wing Mediaite. Here is the text message which Tucker Carlson sent to one of his producers. In it, Carlson admitted to having a brief desire to see a group of Donald Trump supporters kill a person, stating, "It's not how white men fight." Boy, that's pretty hardcore. He's a racist and he wants a white mob to kill somebody? Oh my goodness. Here's the text. This is the Tucker text that they leaked. And again, I'm going to read this very slowly because there's some salty language here. A couple of weeks, now again, what you will hear from this point forward until I say no is the Tucker Carlson leaked text message that they leaked to Media Matters and all these liberal groups, Fox News Channel. They're partnered with all the libs. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching video of people fighting on the street in Washington. A group of Trump guys surrounded an Antifa kid and started pounding the living blank out of him. It was 3 against 1 at least. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. This is the Tucker text I'm reading from. It's not how white men fight. Yet suddenly, I found myself rooting for the mob against the man, hoping they'd hit him harder, kill him. I really wanted them to hurt the kid. I could taste it. Then somewhere deep in my brain, an alarm went off. This isn't good for me. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being. Much as I despise what he says and does, much as I'm sure I'd hate him personally if I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves this kid and would be crushed if he was killed. If I don't care about those things, if I reduce people to their politics, how am I better than he is? Unquote. That is the end of the Tucker message. Now, this text message leaked out by Fox to these liberal outlets, okay, to slander Tucker Carlson, is portraying him as a racist, trying to stop him from getting hired. You know, he got a job offer for $100 million yesterday, Tucker Carlson. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. There's some information that this text is out of context, which I'm going to put it in context, but there's also some information missing here. Two things in particular. One is, at this time, Antifa was looting Washington, D.C. Remember, they burned the church. They were tearing and attacking buildings all over the place, so bad that the U.S. Army had to be deployed and National Guardsmen activated to gain control of Washington, D.C. from Antifa. In fact, this was the worst damage, the biggest attack, except for the 9/11 Pentagon attack, of course, on the city, on the ground, since the Redcoats burned down Washington in the War of 1812. So there's that context that's left out of these stories. But the other thing is this, and this is most important, and this is why Tucker Carlson has anger towards Antifa. Tucker now lives in Florida. It's all over the news, okay? He's got a place in Maine. But he used to live in Virginia, and he moved. Remember what happened? His wife was home alone, and Antifa surrounded his house. A lynch mob of Antifa surrounded Tucker's house, and his wife was home alone. I don't know if the kids were home, but Tucker Carlson's wife was home. It was Antifa and BLM, but mostly Antifa. They surrounded his home. His wife was hiding, it's been a while, either in a closet or the bathroom, I don't remember, calling for help on his cell phone. And that was not long before this moment. Okay? He had just been attacked by Antifa. Now, also, in this very poetic text, I mean, it's who sends text this long? He said he had a brief thought and said it was wrong, and I don't think that way now, and I don't want to be like them. But this is what's going on here. This is what's going on here. They are terrified of Tucker. He must have found something in that January 6th footage that is one of the biggest stories ever told in news media in this country that we haven't seen. One night, and he got the shaman released from prison. All this stuff that they say is the reason that they're letting him go is just distractions and noise. They got rid of Tucker because of that January 6th story. He uncovered something. We don't know what it is yet. And that's why they did it. Eventually, it will get out. But he uncovered something. And now they're trying to discredit him. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's nasty to work with. Look at how he talks to the Fox Nation app guy. I've never seen something like this happen. And I think it's important. And then we'll break. Calls on hold. Stand by. Our number, by the way, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. But Don Lemon was just fired by CNN, and he had a rough time over there with the two girls he did the show with. He was always in a fight with someone, right? I don't see CNN releasing things about Don Lemon. When Fredo left, I don't remember CNN doing these. What's going on with Fox and Tucker? I believe it has to do with that January 6th coverage. He found something. He uncovered something that they didn't expect, or maybe didn't even know about, because they believe their own lies. I want to hear your thoughts on all of this at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Have you tried the Bloomers CBD drinks yet?
I have not tried those yet.
Okay, so I got them last night. I got margarita. I had that. It didn't mix any tequila in there. It was good last night, but I slept like a dream and I felt great this morning. Like I had no joint inflammation.
Oh, boy.
Ordinary pina colada, strawberry daiquiri, margarita, and frosé. And I think you can buy them on their website, bloomersfrosé.com. And I think frosé is F-R-O-S-E. They're sold in a lot of the liquor stores in town that carry CBD products, maybe like Crown or ABC. I slept great, and my joints were like not inflamed at all. Everything was made with fruit juices. They were vegan. They were gluten-free. They were great.
And we can use CBD legally?
Yeah, CBD is legal under the Farm Act, and it's sold everywhere. For everybody who's taking a gummy, take a drink.
You know what? This sounds perfect for me. I'm going to bloomersfrosé.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida.
Oh, man. I cannot tell you the difference that I feel today as opposed to the last couple days without my espresso in the morning. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if you guys can notice, but I was not feeling good. The last 2 days in particular. You know, and I don't know if it was last week, because I've been going, this is a new Starbucks I started going to about a week ago. So I don't know how long they've been feeding me this coffeeless coffee. But Monday and Tuesday, I was not feeling good. You know, what it is, I need the 4 shots of espresso. I'm all better now. Do I sound better than the last couple of days? The last 2 days, I was not feeling good. By the way, guys, in the chat room, call me on the air. I want to hear your thoughts on everything I brought up for the last almost 50 minutes. I think I brought up some really good stuff. I look vavoom. Thank you. Never been described that way. I do need a break. Yeah. I was a little crabby on Monday. Really? That'll do it.
Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to BrianTrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's BrianTrain.com and request your brochure.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. The Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer is back. Call and take advantage of this incredible offer. You know, I love having the doorbell camera. You know, I use it for so many things. Sometimes I use it just to see if I took out the trash. I've done that so many times. I take out the trash, I pull it up on my phone, I pull it up on my iPad. Yeah, good, got the garbage can. You know, the other day, I shouldn't tell people about this. This is, you know, my wife and I have been decluttering our house. You know, since our daughter moved out, we're decluttering the house. We have so much junk, and I've been putting some things out on the swale for the bulk pickup, and I was watching on the doorbell camera to see who picked it. One of my neighbors has been taking all my stuff, and they don't know that I know it, but I've been watching on the doorbell camera. They've been taking. So and I told my wife, and I know who it is. They live on my street. I told my wife, I said, if we went inside their house, it would be like a surreal experience. It would be like our own house. They got all our stuff. They're taking it. It's so bizarre. I love having the doorbell camera, though. So you can get a free doorbell camera if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. You'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone, just like I have mine, with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. You can see your home no matter where you are. And that's not all. They're going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So this is a limited time offer. Remember, it went away before. It's back. 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. All right, let's take a call or two, and then there's more on Tucker. And after the top of the hour, huge Ron DeSantis updates as well. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, we're talking about what might have been on that tape, you know, in that footage. I mean, you know what happened with that whole thing with Tucker, right? You know, he did that Monday. He did that thing with that eventually got the shaman out of prison, right? Well, what else was inside that footage that caused them to say, you're not doing the rest of that week?
Well, yeah, and my guess would be that the whole week's programming, that they already had the edits done, right? They already had the footage done, so they know what he discovered. And the one of the things we've been talking, we don't know how long Tucker Carlson's non-compete is. By the way, thanks, Mike, for the call. Good points. But the longer they keep him on the payroll, the longer from now it'll be until he's back on the air somewhere else. And they don't want the secrets of the January 6th tapes out there. This is how conspiracy theories begin. Area 51, Kennedy. This is how these things happen, or with cover-ups. Now, liberals used to always say it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. There's a cover-up going on here, and I believe it involves the January 6th tapes, whatever Tucker Carlson and his team found. And they're trying to prolong this until after the election. So yesterday, Tucker Carlson received a $100 million offer from Patrick Bet-David. Now, Patrick Bet-David, he's a very successful guy. He's got this new alt media company called Valuetainment. And he's offered Tucker Carlson a pretty sweet deal. This is an amazing offer, and he sent off a letter to Tucker Carlson, and he posted the letter to the Twitter. So I'll read this to you. This is an incredible offer. This is from Patrick Bet-David. You can find him on Twitter. Dear Tucker, I'll get right to the point. We want you to partner with us in what we feel is a noble and necessary effort to define the future of media. And, you know, I think that's so important right now because, as I say, my prediction is this Tucker Carlson firing is the end of the cable news importance. The 24-hour news cycle driving things is over with this. Not just Fox, I mean all of it. We want you to partner with us in what we feel is a noble and necessary effort to define the future of media. Here is what we offer. $100 million over 5 years, so $20 million a year. an equity stake in Valuetainment. Wow. President of Valuetainment. So they're offering him $20 million a year, 5-year contract, $100 million, an equity stake in the company. They're offering to make him president of the company and a seat on their board of directors where he can to project your strategic vision and voice. And this is the letter that they sent to Tucker. Their offer, right? Your own podcast and other daily and weekly shows, documentaries and movies covering topics you care about. What else? We are all ears. So they're offering all of this and telling Tucker, add some other things to it. If you want, we're open. Our convictions about freedom, liberty, and truth run deep, and we believe we are the absolute right fit for you and America. While we may not be the biggest media company, we are a new media leader driving into the future to make truth, fair debate, and commentary more accessible, consumable, and protected. We are 100% serious about our offer, and it's signed Patrick Bet-David, who owns this company. You know, and so these offers, this is the second major offer. This is the one we have all the details of. But Newsmax made an offer, a big money offer. We don't know all the details of that. And they offered him content and programming control over all of Newsmax TV. Now this offer is coming in. And that's why these leaks, Fox News partnering up with these liberal jerks, okay, Media Matters, Mediaite, and all the rest, they're trying to soil him with these potential employers. They're trying to mess up these deals. And they're also trying to alienate the audience from him. Now, none of us agree with Tucker all the time. I mean, he's not Trump. But that's okay. You know, when it comes to reporting, all we want is the truth, even if it doesn't necessarily fit what we want it to be. We don't want our truth. We like the liberals, our truth, her truth, his truth. We want the truth. And that's what you get with Tucker Carlson. So this is an amazing, amazing time. You know, my friend PJ Gladnick from Newsbusters did something so interesting this week. He went somewhere. He wasn't too confident about this idea because he offered money, but it was a low amount of money. He went somewhere. It looked like a flea market. It looked like it might have been the swap shop. I don't know where he was. But PJ, he went to some flea market or swap shop or something and was walking around offering $10 cash. He had two $5 bills. He offered $10 cash to anyone who could name the 3 network news anchors, and no one could do it. I think I could do 2, Lester Holt and David Muir. I don't know who the other guy is. And you know, the evening nightly news at 6:30 at night, that used to be it, man. That used to be the driver of everything. That and 60 Minutes. And Meet the Press back in Tim Russert and prior days. So that's over. The dominance of the evening news is over because it was taken away from them by the cable news cycle. And now the cable news is on its way out. And they have been influencing us and telling people what they should be concerned about and not concerned about and everything else for years. And you know, the cable news has never been good. It started with CNN. And do you know what made CNN big? It was the Gulf War in 1991. And they were traitors. Do you guys remember what they did? They had a guy, Peter Arnett. Do you guys remember Peter Arnett? He was the CNN reporter that stayed behind in Baghdad when the war began and everybody else got out. And he was reporting from Baghdad during Gulf War I in 1991 live. But he just couldn't report. He could only report what Saddam Hussein wanted. And he had handlers. And Peter Arnett would be reporting on CNN about things, and he's like, oh, well, I've just been told I can't speak to that question you just asked me. Remember that propaganda? The cable news has always been a poison in American society since CNN started it. It's just gotten worse, and now it's over. All right, 1 hour down. When we get back, huge story on Ron DeSantis. Oh boy, Ron DeSantis, he may not get out of bed this morning with this story. This is a brutal one. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. And remember, whatever radio station you're listening to us on, make that the #1 spot on your presets on your radio, all right? And tell all your friends about us. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indian Town.
Baghdad Bob, that was Gulf War II.
By Vic Canales Media Group, broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700.
Oh, man.
561-570-5700.
It's been a week of bad news for Ron DeSantis.
Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Here we are midweek and another gorgeous day on tap for
Oh yeah, this DeSantis story is brutal. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. You'll love my content, I promise you. This is the most pro-Donald Trump channel on all of YouTube. I'm broadcasting on 6 radio stations and live streaming here on YouTube. And I upload my podcast here as well as live stream the radio. I do random live streams on the weekends talking about the issues. So you will most definitely enjoy this channel, those of you that are new. And there's over 1,400 of you in the live stream right now. If you could all do me the favor of subscribing and liking the video, that would be awesome, so more people can find out about this channel. Oh, man. If you love Trump, press 1. There's no other choices. Right? But if you love Trump, press 1. Absolutely.
It is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida. Look for the sunny.
Oh, yes.
Logo. Learn more to follow freshfromflorida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic. Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC has the best derby party south of Church.
Oh, yes. I love all that. Look at all that Trump love.
Fest is coming up May 6th.
Lots of Trump love in there.
Party with jumbo screen, live music from Sip and Fire in the
Absolutely.
hat contest, barbecue
Absolutely.
food truck, mint juleps, fun activities.
If the weather is good this weekend, I'm going to take the brand new MAGA scooter, the MAGA Scooter 2.0, up to Mar-a-Lago and do a vlog, not just around Mar-a-Lago, but President Trump's neighborhood up there. So would you guys like to see that? Because I don't really show the neighborhood. I did a good vlog not long ago showing you all the famous people that live around President Trump's homes. But I think I'll show you Mar-a-Lago and the stores where Melania goes shopping, very fancy, and the beach and everything over there. So if I do that on Saturday, would you guys like to see that? If the weather's nice, like it's beautiful out today, so. Well, thank you guys. Welcome. And I'll debut the MAGA Scooter 2.0, which I'm all excited about. I haven't taken it on too long of a trip yet, except when I bought it down in Fort Lauderdale. I had to ride it to my house. I've like almost given up on selling the original MAGA scooter. I put an ad online, and all I'm hearing about are from freaks and weirdos, you know? Mm-hmm. Yep, the MAGA Scooter 2.0 is so cool. It even has a built-in phone charger, which is nice. It would cost me more to ship the scooter to California than it's worth. I'd be better off buying her one. But no, she's got a car. I'll give her a scooter. I haven't talked to Steve this morning. I talked to him yesterday around 6. He did not sound well. He's got a really bad cold. Right. This is the last commercial. A lot of Trump love in there. That's awesome. Nah. My wife says I should donate it to charity. All right, 5 minutes after the hour. It is Wednesday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You know, I was talking yesterday about I'm selling my MAGA scooter because I bought a new MAGA scooter, the MAGA scooter 2.0, and I put an ad online to sell the original MAGA scooter, and I'm hearing from nothing but weirdos, and I'm like about to give up on it, and I might just donate it to charity. I don't know. But the last time I put something online is, some of you may remember, I used to have a Trump flag flying on the front of my house off the garage, and a liberal stole my cat, kidnapped my cat because of the MAGA flag, and my cat Ruby, and I didn't know it right away, but I put the cat was missing. And I put an ad online and many places with the lost cat, with the picture, with my phone number. And I heard from such strange, weird people. And then I heard from the person who stole my cat, and they told me things that they would only know if they had my cat. And but some of the people I heard from with my lost cat that would call me for months, just weirdos. Some lady called me and told me about seeing cat heads on the lake in the community, and maybe it was my cat's head. Just weird stuff. Sometimes people would call me. This was crazy. People would call me at night and say, "I saw your cat behind my house, and this is my address, and I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but you can go in the back of my house if you want and look for your cat." Yeah, and go and get shot. You know, just weirdos. And I'm having a similar, I know, because of the Trump flag, and I have other pets. I have other pets that I know that really just ticks me off. I still look for the cat in the neighborhood, even though it's been a couple of years. You know, and what I do when I drive through the neighborhood is I look in the windows of the houses, because I'm thinking one day I'll see her in the window of someone's house in the neighborhood. And I do that every day, and I've done it for a couple years now. And just because Florida's a red state doesn't mean we have liberals, and the liberals are more triggered these days because this is such a red MAGA state. So the liberals are just nasty. Like that gay guy that gave me the middle finger on the beach over the weekend during the air show because I had a MAGA hat on. I mean, you know. And I know some people have asked me, how did I know he was gay? Well, if you saw him in the video, you wouldn't be asking that question. Anyway, guys, welcome back. But putting ads online is just, it's never a good thing. Never a good thing. So there's been nothing but bad news for Ron DeSantis for weeks, ever since he betrayed Donald Trump. And it began, and there's a new one today. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Wait till you hear this one I got today. But let me do a quick recap. It began, and this is when Trump was being threatened with arrest by Bragg Soros in New York. Governor DeSantis, he has regular press conferences. Doesn't seem he has as many as he used to because of all this bad news. But in his press conference, he was asked about it, and he said that he would not interfere with the extradition order against President Trump, which was outrageous because the governor of any state, when there's an out-of-state extradition request, a governor has the right to convene an investigation and determine if the extradition is warranted or not. And he said he wouldn't do that. He would let a Floridian get snatched and kidnapped by the city of New York, by Bragg Soros. And that was the beginning. And it's been just dominoes of bad news just going down ever since. And that really just... First I was angry, then I felt disappointed, and then I was happy that he outed himself as a Lincoln Project never-Trumper early. If he would have kept it to himself and kept his cover, we wouldn't have known until after he was the second MAGA president in 2028. So it's better to find out now than then. And it's just been nothing but bad news for him ever since, right? The bobblehead Ron thing when he was in Japan last week. You know, why are you so far behind in the polls? Well, I haven't announced yet. He did the bobblehead. You know, he did the bobblehead again a couple days ago. He's trying to make it his thing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Then we got the story out of the UK. He went to England on his rainbow tour, one of his stops, and the British business leader said he's not presidential. This is not the guy. One described him as low wattage. And then yesterday, I had a couple of big stories, and one of them was he went to Israel, was part of the Rainbow Tour, the Right Said Fred Tour. And does anyone get the Right Said Fred Tour reference? I've been using that the last week or so. I don't know if anybody gets that reference. But the Rainbow Tour is Ava Perón, you know, the Rainbow Tour. But the Right Said Fred one's different. In Israel, he told the Israelis that he talked President Trump into moving the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to the capital of Jerusalem. You have to be Gen X to get the Right Said Fred joke. I'm not going to sing it, I promise. But, and then Trump said, no, I didn't even really know him then. We never even talked about it. And then the other story yesterday was that his lieutenant governor back in 2016 put out that god-awful tweet in which the lieutenant governor, handpicked by Ron DeSantis, said that President Trump is hashtag anti-Israel, hashtag supports KKK. So this is just, whew. Well, it's gotten worse. It's getting worse. Oh, man. Ron DeSantis, there's a new poll out. The Emerson College poll. Have you heard this story? Ron DeSantis is polling at his lowest levels ever. The Emerson College poll, okay, President Trump is at 62% right now. This is the Emerson College poll. I tweeted this poll, by the way. You can find it on my Twitter, and you can read it and verify all this information if you want to challenge my good word. In the Emerson College poll, President Trump is at 62%. The last time this poll was taken, Governor DeSantis was at 46 points, right? Right now, Trump's at 62. DeSantis is at 16%. 16%. He's polling 16. That's right. That's right. He's polling at 16. He's dropped 30 points in that poll. Trump is at 62. DeSantis is at 16. Just for a little context, Pence is at 7. So Pence is catching up to DeSantis. And no, Trump's at 62. DeSantis is at 16. He's no longer a viable candidate. Now, why he's dropped so much, I don't know. I don't know. Okay? Because I know that we get a lot of stories on him because he's our governor. I don't know what people around the country are hearing. I don't know how they're processing the DeSantis stories. And I don't even know how closely they're following it. We may be following it closely here more than others because he's our governor. 16 to Trump's 62. Which means I am closer to DeSantis in the presidential race than he is to Trump, and I'm not even running. In fact, I'm a lot closer. I'm only 16 points behind him in that poll, and I'm not even in the poll or running. Think about that. Than he is to Trump. That's amazing. It's over. He's no longer a credible, legitimate, viable candidate for president of... He couldn't win an election as president of a homeowners association in Florida. That's how bad it's gotten. But when you're dropping about 30 points and you're at 16 points to Trump's 62, it's over. Over. Before it's even begun. So the question is he still going to announce he's running? Or will the announcement be that he's not running, that he wants to focus on the state of Florida? Let's find out. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are in pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton. The greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr.
Yeah, that liberal that stole my cat.
Work is painless, and the prices are painless.
I mean, think about this, right? Rome, Wisconsin, you're only 16 points behind DeSantis in the presidential race. Think about that. You're closer to DeSantis by far than he is to Trump.
Experience all
That's pretty bad.
landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches.
Pierre Delecto.
The only passenger
Okay.
rail service that runs on the historic
Other than the person who said it,
Canada from east to
who's
west.
Pierre Delecto? Does anyone remember?
Unforgettable journey, head to
Well, thank you, Unacceptable.
and request a brochure. Book your spot
Pierre
now
Delecto.
and
Who
begin
was that?
reserving
Does anybody
at
remember?
That's
The person behind that name.
and request your brochure. Brian Craig here. Are you looking for a reliable scooter sales and repair shop? Look no further than Anything Scooters. When my scooter broke down, Anything Scooters took care of
That's right, Mitt Romney.
Had me back out on the road in no time. At a great price too. They have a huge inventory of scooters for sale, both new and used. They offer financing. They also accept trade-ins on all new and used scooter purchases. So don't let that old scooter gather dust in the garage. Trade it in and get a great deal on a new ride. If you're looking to upgrade your scooter's performance, they've got you covered. Their expert technicians can handle anything from simple oil changes to engine rebuilds, even high-performance modifications. At Anything Scooters, they use only top-quality oils and replacement parts to ensure that your scooter runs like it should. They're very friendly and they have great.
So I'm gonna have to
customer
start
service.
going
Visit
to
anythingscooters.com.
a
Give them a call
different
directly on
Starbucks than the one I've been going to the last week.
954.
The only reason I'm caffeinated now is I had them dump out the other one and give me a new one. They were going to give me that coffee that they said had no caffeine in it.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. And you probably have seen the stories of the tornadoes that hit in Palm Beach, right in the neighborhood where we broadcast from, the neighborhood of the radio station, and the local news. Man, I saw a boat, a big boat, that was turned over. I've seen cars straight up in the air. I saw one person, they had a tree in their living room. Oh, man. And we've had a lot of bad weather here lately, haven't we, in Florida? We sure have, and I hope it's not an indicator of the coming hurricane season. Oh, man, I don't want that. I don't want that. I've got hurricane glass and hurricane shutters because, it's crazy. You got to be extra careful. But anyway, if you've got a leak in your roof, you want to get it taken care of before the hurricane season gets here. And if you've been affected by these tornadoes, you also want to call Tom Laporta. Tom Laporta, who will never sell you a roof that you do not need. And I know that for a fact because I've talked to so many listeners who have had we had a guy, a listener, who has an HOA, big condo building, and he had some other roofers come out, and they all told him he needed a new roof. Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting came out and said, no, I just need a repair. That's a big job. A roof like that could be like $500,000. That's why they all said that you needed a new roof, except Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. He's got offices on both coasts of Florida, the East Coast and the West Coast. And, of course, he covers everywhere in between the coast, too. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, too. You want to get that taken care of before it turns into a big problem. Now, there's new laws involving the homeowners and property insurance in the state of Florida. This applies to both homeowners and commercial property owners. The new Florida insurance laws allow Tom Laporta to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repairs. You very well may not need a public adjuster. Public adjuster takes 10% commission on what you get from your insurance company. That means whatever the repairs are, they're going to get 20% of the settlement from the insurance company. You got to come up with that money. And it takes a long time. I did it once years ago. It took a year. And then I had to come up with 20% of the repair cost. Now you don't have to do that. With Tom Laporta, if you don't need an adjuster, and you may not need one, you won't have to worry about that 20%. By the way, he works on every type of structure, single-family homes, HOAs, condos, apartment buildings, municipal buildings, churches, whatever type of structure you have, Tom Laporta can help. And also any type of roofing material as well. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com. All right, now, of course, they want to portray, the left, the media, they want to portray conservatives and MAGA as violent. Really, if MAGA is so violent, why didn't they let Tucker finish the January 6th reporting he was doing that week, huh? But everywhere I look, I see liberals attacking. Antifa, BLM, you've seen what they've done over the years. Rand Paul has been attacked twice. One Democrat almost killed Senator Rand Paul. He attacked Rand Paul while Rand Paul was mowing his lawn. Remember that? Broke his ribs, lungs collapsed. A sitting United States senator, I think he's free today. Can you imagine? A Democrat almost killed sitting United States Senator Rand Paul. Why? Because he's a Republican. A Bernie Sanders supporter tried to assassinate the entire Republican baseball team. Remember that? Oh my goodness. The guy that shot Steve Scalise, a Democrat, Bernie Sanders supporter. They've disappeared that story. And you've seen these transgenders, they keep rushing into state capitals. There was another one yesterday. Well, Matt Gaetz has had a run-in. Listen to this. A Florida woman, Matt Gaetz is a Florida congressman. I wish he was mine. I got some liberal guy, I wish I had Matt Gaetz as my voice in Congress. But he represents Florida well. A Florida woman was arrested and charged with felony battery for throwing a glass of wine at sitting Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida. This is another attack by the left on a federal official. Throwing a glass of wine, you could hurt someone. And in Matt Gaetz's case, they could have messed up his hair, and that would have really set him off. Have any of you ever met Matt Gaetz in person? You know, TV adds weight to you. He is as skinny as a string bean, and his hair is like 3 feet high. You know, and when I see Matt Gaetz, he kind of reminds me of John Travolta at dinner with his family at the beginning of Saturday Night Fever. Don't touch the hair. Yeah. You know, but anyway, a Florida woman was arrested and charged with felony battery for throwing a glass of wine at sitting Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida. 41-year-old Selena Chambers. That sounds like a porno actress, doesn't it? 41-year-old woman did this. 41-year-old Selena Chambers, allegedly, threw the drink at Matt Gaetz after swearing loudly at him at a wine festival Saturday in Northwest Florida. A person who was with Congressman Gaetz at the wine festival said Chambers then walked away yelling and flipping him off. My goodness. Chambers told police she accidentally tripped and spilled her wine on Gaetz. And what happened? When she accidentally tripped, the wine glass just started flying towards him, and then to try to catch the glass, she tried to catch it with the middle finger motion. Explain that. Chambers told police she accidentally tripped and spilled her wine on Matt Gaetz. Selena Chambers was charged with 2 counts of battery. 1 count is a misdemeanor. In the 2nd count, battery on an elected official, which is a felony. By the way, where are the Capitol Police? Where are the Capitol Police can respond out of state. They're federal officers and do operate outside of the D.C. area and outside of the Capitol when a member is threatened. She should be brought up on federal charges. She attacked a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives. CNBC reports a Florida woman was charged with felony battery after she allegedly threw a glass of wine at Representative Matt. Sounds like I'm slurring my words. Sounds like I've been drinking wine. After she allegedly threw a glass of wine on Representative Matt Gaetz, the woman, 41-year-old Selena Chambers of Tallahassee, threw a drink at the congressman after swearing loudly at him as she passed him at a wine festival in Northwest Florida. A person with Gaetz told police. That person is named Blaine Odom. He said Chambers then walked away yelling and flipping him off, according to an arrest report provided to CNBC by the sheriff's office. Chambers told the officer at the time of the arrest that she was walking, tripped, and spilled her drink on Representative Gaetz. She said she had consumed alcohol at the festival and that she recognized him before spilling her drink. Her friend Stacy was with her, said she cursed at Gaetz as they walked past him. So her friend even ratted her out. So another Republican federal official attacked by a leftist. Where's Capitol Police? Where's the news media, by the way? I'm reading this in CNBC. Nobody watches that. Okay? Where is MSNBC? Did Fox News cover this? Where's CNN? You know, the reason the liberals don't cover incidents like this, they think that Matt Gaetz brought this upon himself because he's MAGA. Because he's MAGA, he brought this on himself. He deserved it. That's how they process it. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Here we are midweek and another gorgeous day on tap for South Florida with the dry conditions prevailing.
this stage in its development.
This Sunday, treat mom to a special day in the paddock for our delicious Mother's Day brunch buffet.
Is at
Hoffman's Treats for Mom. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal
with the rest of us. Listen, friends, you need to hear me. The Republican Party at this stage.
Oh my goodness. Joy Reid has just had a complete and utter meltdown. Just a complete meltdown. This is beautiful. This is great, beautiful stuff.
4604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Hey, it's Vic from the TOC, and I'm living proof that the One Life Health and Performance customized weight loss plan works. Thanks to the personalized services of Dr. Winnard and his team, I am down 45 pounds. I feel great. I went from a 36-inch waist to a 32. I stopped snoring, and I no longer need that annoying sleep machine. Thanks to One Life Health and Performance, I am starting to live my best healthy life.
When you become a patient of One Life Health and Performance, you can be sure that your health and wellness goals will be personalized and achievable. Our team will be by your side every step of the way to make looking and feeling your best not just a dream, but a reality. Visit OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com to be your best, most healthy self today. OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com.
You're a Florida homeowner, and you know that real estate is selling for the highest prices ever. With so many listing their house,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Joy Reid. This Joy Reid's in a panic mode of complete depression right now. Oh man, yeah. This is. I'm doing cosplay today. I'm Senator Fetterman of Pennsylvania.
of smooth transactions, as well as top negotiation talents. When you list your property with Elena Castro, she
You know, I'm dressed a little nicer than him. I'm not wearing, basketball shorts.
and if you're looking to buy, she can help you with that too. Give Elena Castro a call right now. 954-478-5015. 954-478-5015. And get your house listed and sold for the price you want. 954-478-5015. 954-478-5015.
Are you tired of struggling to obtain the body you want? No matter how much you diet and exercise, nothing seems to work. But there is an easy solution to your problem. This is Brian Craig, and I want to introduce you to Elegant Youth, located right next door to any lab test now of Boca, and the revolutionary fat contouring method, Cool Sculpting Elite. Cool Sculpting Elite is non-invasive.
Yeah, what do they call this? Urban streetwear? Is that what I look like I'm wearing now?
Without resorting to surgery or liposuction. With Cool Sculpting Elite, you can eliminate stubborn fat and tone your muscles. This treatment is FDA cleared for 9 areas of the body. You're just a phone call away from having the body.
Hey, tell me yes or no. Have you used ChatGPT? I'm curious. Have you used ChatGPT? Yes or no? I'm curious. All I'm hearing about is AI. Pennsylvania casual, yeah.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
That's right. It's 46 years and going strong, the Steve Kane Show. And I'm embarrassed to say, because it makes me sound old, that I've been with the show most of that time. Oh, my goodness. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You are welcome to call in about anything we brought up so far. I also want to point out, CNN has cleared Trump of any wrongdoing on January 6th. What I mean by that is, if he led an insurrection against the United States government, would they invite him on to a live town hall meeting next week? So that's another time President Trump's been cleared. And with him at 62 and DeSantis at 16 in the latest poll, oh my goodness. He's the presumed everything, Donald Trump, everything good. And, a lot of what we're seeing with CNN, with President Trump going over there, is good old-fashioned American capitalism, competition. You get the competition now that, because Fox News wasn't just number one, they were number one by far. And when half of the audience have exited the network, CNN sees the possibility of being number one in cable news. And they're going to be number one next Wednesday night when President Trump's on. Oh, yeah, they're going to be number one. I know I'll be watching. So, and once they get a little taste of that, they're going to want it more. So I'm expecting to see a lot of President Trump on CNN, and I don't know about MSNBC. They don't care about viewers. They really don't. They just don't seem to care about viewers. But CNN, I can see it happening. Now, Joy Reid at MSNBC posted online a desperate video. She is terrified. Now, Joy Reid, a lot of you may not know this. Joy Reid's a victim. Everything's about white supremacy to her. Joy Reid is a Harvard graduate. That's right. And, having a Harvard degree is the golden ticket to life. If you have a degree from Harvard, even if you were a C student, you're set for life. Just that name, Harvard University. That's it. Golden ticket to life. You never have to worry about anything. And when you're talking to someone who's a Harvard grad, right, like Joy Reid, and you can't convince her that these days of racism and oppression are over, how are you going to get through to anyone? But I don't know if she believes it. I think she might just tell people what she wants them to hear for an end result. So here we are in the very beginning of election season, and it looks good for us. Not just Republicans, it looks good for MAGA, it looks good for Trump, it looks good for America. What's good for Trump is good for America, right? And Joy Reid posted a video online that really is a liberal SOS. She is so panicked. This is not a video you would make if you thought you were winning. This is a video for desperate losers. Let me play some of it. This is Joy Reid, and she didn't do this on television. She's in her living room of her house doing this. She's in such a panic. She just woke up and got panicked and made this video.
Listen, friends, you need to hear me. The Republican Party, at this stage in its development, is at war with the rest of us. They're at war with women, and women, if you think they're going to stop with just outlawing the abortion pill, you got another thing coming. When they're done getting a national ban on abortion, which is what they're going for, they're coming for your birth control. And when they're done with that, they're going to move on to LGBTQ rights. They're coming for gay marriage. Don't think that if you're LGBTQ, but you're rich and affluent and Republican, that you're safe, because they're coming for your rights too. They're coming for all non-white immigration.
They're coming, okay, yeah, she's getting desperate. They're coming for all non-white immigration. All non-white, really? You mean Canadians can just come here and move, and Europeans and Australians? I don't think so. But Joy Reid here, with her obsession on abortion, Republicans don't take rights away. They give rights out, okay, that we have guaranteed to us by the Constitution. What rights have Republicans ever taken away from someone? Can you tell me? What rights have Republicans taken away? All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE1 is the number, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Rob from Palm Beach. How are you?
All right, Palm Beach. How you doing?
I am so sick and tired of Joy Reid. I really think she's a racist, and I don't care. She's from Harvard. What degree does she get? How to be a racist and hate white people?
Yeah.
I'm tired of her.
I think that's a major at Harvard. Well, here's the thing. With Joy Reid, okay? Joy Reid knows better. She thinks she's superior. She thinks she's superior to other minorities in this country. So she doesn't brag about having a Harvard degree like most people would. She doesn't want people to know that she got a Harvard degree.
Right.
She wants you to think that in America you can't do that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You called me. So what's on your mind?
Well, the thing is, I thought she did a Harvard degree, and I really don't care. She spews out so much that I just can't believe that she's still in her position.
Oh, well, we're having some, we got a bad connection on your cell phone. I'll wait a moment to see if it improves. Well, when you're dealing with Joy Reid, this video that she released to me, is a video of desperation.
It's just a video of just lies.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to let you run because the cell phone is just breaking up too bad. But try it back another time, okay? You sound like you'd be a good caller if we had a good cell connection. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah, speak up. You're on the air. What's your name?
My name is Joan.
Hey, Joan.
Valley.
Hey, Joan.
And, you always hear all these polls and stuff, and I'm like, I never got polled. Well, I got polled about 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And it was basically like if Donald Trump got arrested, would you vote for him?
Yes.
If he got arrested, would you vote for DeSantis? I was like, wow, why let Trump all the way down the road?
Yeah.
What happens to Trump? I ain't voting for DeSantis, and it's Trump down the ticket.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm with you. Absolutely.
But I listened to these polls. I'm like, nobody ever calls me. Well, somebody finally did.
Well, a thing with the polls, when they do a poll, they only sample sometimes less than 1,000 people, sometimes 1,100. And that's not very many people. You're going to decide a whole thing based on what 700 or 1,100 people respond to. And a lot of conservatives, in particular MAGA Republicans, a lot of conservatives historically do not answer poll questions because we're suspicious of who's on the line. Look, they got Homeland Security monitoring Republican parents at school board meetings. The FBI is infiltrating Catholic churches in Virginia. Okay? So a lot of times when Republicans get polled, they won't talk because they're afraid that it's a trap, that they're being set up into something.
Well, I am a Republican. I'm a Catholic. I've been a deplorable and I guess a MAGA. I don't know. I'm a horrible person, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
According to the media, I'm everything, right? But I don't care. I'm going to tell them what I feel.
That's right. Well, listen, thanks for the call. And, the thing about, I'm Catholic, and my wife and I became Catholic about 10 or 15 years ago. We converted to Catholicism. And, when you convert to Catholicism, it's a long process. It takes about a year. You have to take a class, the RCIA classes. I forgot what the RCIA stands for. I forgot what it stands for. But anyway, we had to take like 9 months of classes, and we couldn't take communion until we were done with everything. Now, no one's going to stop me. I could have gone up and taken communion, but out of respect for the church and the Pope, I didn't do it. But here you have Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults, by the way, just popped in my head. That's what it stands for, Rites of Christian Initiation for Adults. 9 months of classes. But Biden and Pelosi and all these liberal pro-abortion Catholics do what you're not supposed to do. They take Holy Communion when you're not supposed to. When you support abortion and you take part in abortion, which they all do, you're not supposed to take communion because you're out of communion with the church. All right, we're going to take our last break of this hour and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
It's Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Slow.
Oh, man.
You can see your home right from
Yeah, I got to stop going to that Starbucks I've been going to.
give you a free customized computerized home security system, and professional installation when you use their low-cost
Giving me
central station monitoring.
coffee without
So you're getting
caffeine,
an
without
LED
coffee in
touchscreen
it for a
pad,
week.
a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer at
Yeah, the Pope is out of communion with the church, the current Pope, absolutely.
1-833-283-5050. Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours at the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at Chowderheads.
I'm feeling much better now that I have caffeine.
Buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new
I mean, I can tell a big difference in me today in the show from the last 2 days without the caffeine. I was having a tough time the last couple days in particular. Friday, I wasn't feeling too. I started going to this new Starbucks. They're messing with me. It sure is. Welcome back. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I want to tell you about this incredible trip through the beautiful Canadian Rockies on the Rocky Mountaineer train from August 15th through the 20th. Oh, man. You know, this tour is just a great, great opportunity for you to escape the summer humidity in August and enjoy that perfect cool climate in the Canadian Rockies. And you know, this is one of those bucket list, unforgettable experiences, going through mountain passes, canyons, beautiful peaks, and viewing incredible wildlife. You know, and the Rocky Mountaineer train is bi-level. The top level is a glass dome, so you got a great view of these breathtaking landscapes. And of course, fine dining, fine wines with chefs, tour guides, that are with you the entire way, and this is just a beautiful trip. To learn more, go to briantrain.com. When you go to briantrain.com, request a brochure. That brochure will give you all the information on this incredible train ride on the Rocky Mountaineer. briantrain.com and request a brochure. That's briantrain.com and request a brochure. So let me get back to this. So Joy Reid's just getting warmed up. This Panic SOS, what this really is Joy Reid is sending out an SOS to liberals in a desperate attempt to get them back on the Democrat plantation. She's seen the internal polls and they're losing everything.
I think that if you're LGBTQ, but you're rich and affluent and Republican, then you're safe because they're coming for your rights too.
Oh, yes.
They're coming for all non-white immigration because look, if they can force American women to give birth, who needs immigration? They'll just replenish the impoverished, desperate workforce with poor people they force American women and girls, little girls, teenage girls, and younger to make. They're coming for workers' rights. Because once they have their population of low-wage workers, why give them any rights? Why give them the right to unionize? Why give them any rights at all? Give them low wages and then give them nothing else. They're coming for education. Because the last thing you want is an educated workforce.
What is she talking about? Oh my goodness. Does this sound like a video message that is sent out by a winner or a loser?
People who know history and know enough about history to see what they're doing. They're coming for your books. Black history. They're coming for Holocaust history. They're coming for the history of all non-white people, and they're going to erase it.
They're coming for the history of all non-white people? Did she just say Jews are not white? She said they're coming after Holocaust history. I missed that. Did she just say Jews aren't white? Sounds like it. Not being very politically correct there, Joy Reid.
Our schools. And one thing that they will never do is protect a single child from getting slaughtered in school. Because their only true worship is guns.
Wow. Okay, now, it's Republicans that are talking about arming school teachers. Right? Republicans are talking about arming school teachers, after they're properly trained, of course. And you look at this god-awful tragedy in Parkland, that happened because of Democrats. Democrat school board, Democrat administrators, and a Democrat sheriff manipulated all kinds of things so that Nicholas Cruz was allowed to still walk into stores and buy guns. You know, the Parkland shooter, Nicholas Cruz, they were cooking the crime stats in Parkland. They wanted, and in the Broward County School District. They wanted to have as low as of a crime rate as possible in the public schools and in the city of Parkland, because it's an upscale area. So if you don't arrest anyone, there's no crimes on the books. If you don't arrest anyone. So a couple dozen times police are called on Nicholas Cruz, no arrest made, so he's not in the system. He's allowed to buy guns. In fact, the school was so frightened of Nicholas Cruz that the armed sheriff's deputy assigned to the school to protect the students and the staff went and hid when he just heard Nicholas Cruz was on campus. He was so afraid of confronting Nicholas Cruz, he went and hid even before the shooting started. He was so afraid of Nicholas Cruz. If the Democrat sheriff and the Democrat school board and the Democrat school superintendent and the Democrat administrators would have had Nicholas Cruz arrested just one of these times, he wouldn't have been able to buy guns that he used to shoot up the school.
They're going to allow as many assault weapons to flood our society and our schools as the gun manufacturers want to put out there. And then they're going to demand that all of the people who they control, whether they give birth, who they control whether they can vote, who they control whether they can marry, whether they can see a drag show or perform in one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. She's just hitting on all of them. You know, when it comes to guns, you know, the NRA, for years, I think they've given up on this. The NRA developed a gun safety school curriculum for elementary schools. It was called the Eddie Eagle program. Any of you guys remember the Eddie Eagle program? And the powerful gun lobby, they lobbied hard around this country to have the Eddie Eagle gun education program added to the curriculum in public schools, and I don't think it got in any school district. And if you look at the rash of shootings we've had lately, these tragedies have been Democrats. In fact, the school shooting, the most recent school shooting, was of a liberal transgender person who did the shooting.
Every single one of those people to subject themselves to constant risk of death. Getting shot down at school, at the Walmart, at the top supermarket, at the mall, at a parade, at a concert, walking down the street. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 12th grade, they don't give a damn.
Okay, and she just goes on. You know, what's going on in the media right now and she's with MSNBC. You see at Fox. You see what's going on in the media. The media have lost their power. It really began in 2016, right? What the media have been used to doing, newspapers, cable news, is telling us who to vote for, who not to vote for, and picking who the presidents were going to be. And when Trump won in 2016 was a big blow to the media. One of the major reasons they hate Trump, or hated him then, they have other reasons now. They got a whole bunch of other, self-important grievances. But the hatred that they had of President Trump back then is they lost their power because they were telling everyone not to vote for him, and they did, and he won, and he beat Hillary Clinton, and they lost their juice. And they've not been able to get over that. The media, this is not new with the cable news. The corporate media have always been in bed with the deep state and the military-industrial complex. This is just the way it is. We were lied into the war in Iraq by the media. And if you remember, the media, even these liberal outlets, were embedded with the army during the invasion of Iraq after the WMD lie. The media have always been an arm of the deep state and the Pentagon pushing things on us. Look at what's happened now in Ukraine, right? They've been pushing us into this war in Ukraine. And if you believe that, well, we shouldn't be involved in Ukraine, if you say give peace a chance or something, these liberals all of a sudden say you're a Russian propagandist. You're a Putin apologist. You're not even permitted to speak out against the war in Ukraine. Tucker Carlson was. They didn't like it, but that's not what got him in trouble in the end. And Joy Reid, who's the big defender of gay rights, when she first got that prime time gig, some things that she had put up a few years earlier online that were homophobic, very anti-gay, came public. Very anti-gay things that Joy Reid had said and been involved in prior to that were made public. And MSNBC, even though she's a big homophobe, gave her that prime time slot. They even got Rachel Maddow to come out and vouch for her. But I got news for you. We are so far ahead, we don't even realize it. When you see the reaction of the left, the firing of Tucker, this Democrat SOS video of Joy Reid. By the way, I only played a portion of it. She went on for about 10 minutes. 7-10 minutes. She just went on and on. That is a panicked SOS video. The caller before the break was talking about getting polled. She has seen some internal poll numbers, and they have freaked her out. There's nothing they can do to stop what is coming. Now, I got a very important question to ask you. Do you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy? If you suffer from neuropathy, or your spouse does, or one of your parents, you know what it's like. It's living torture. And the doctors will tell you there's nothing you can do when it comes to neuropathy. Steve had every neuropathy symptom in the medical journal, and then a few others. I think they're going to have to revise in the medical journals. The symptoms of neuropathy make life really unbearable. It really is bad. And your doctors will tell you there is no treatment. That suffering, that misery, that is your life now. The symptoms are awful. The feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet, dizziness, muscle weakness, burning, pain. It just goes on and on. Well, there is a treatment for neuropathy that works at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. I know it works because I've seen it work in Steve, and I've talked to many of our listeners who have told me how well the neuropathy treatment at Lighthouse Medical Center worked when it came to them. It'll give you your life back. End the suffering. You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Now, when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. Also, if you can't make it in to their office in Pompano, if you don't drive, or maybe you're too far away, you think to drive there, still call them. They very well may be able to help you. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And again, online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Give Lighthouse Medical Center a call and say bye-bye to your neuropathy. All right, and again, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of that no-charge consultation. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach. WYRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Here we are midweek and another gorgeous day on tap for South Florida with the dry conditions prevailing, high pressure dominant, winds still out of the west 10 to 15, and highs in the upper 80s. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Expressway still crashing
Let's
this morning,
see.
with delays heavier now on 95 heading southbound from Lantana Road down to Atlantic Avenue. Delays also heavier on the northbound side of I-95 from Deerfield Beach into Boca. In Boca Raton, we have a multi-vehicle crash on Palmetto Park Road at 441. Delays heavier also on the Turnpike north and southbound at Lake North Road, Southern Boulevard eastbound passing the Military Trail towards 95. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida. Florida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic on Bruce Bar.
Traffic service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC has the best derby party south of Churchill Downs. Kentucky Derby Fest is coming up May 6th. Check out the on-track party with Jumbo Screen, live music from Sip and Fire and the Connected, Derby hat contest, barbecue food tent, bars, mint juleps, fun activities, and true oldies will be there with great handicapping tips and prizes. For info, go to bbkennelclub.com. Here's your true oldies ABC News update.
ABC News now. I'm Inez de la Catera. With an anticipated surge in migrants expected next week at the southern border, the U.S. and Mexico agreeing to new immigration policies.
Mexico has agreed to accept non-Mexican expelled back across the border by the U.S., giving the administration a potent legal authority and a strong deterrent tool. It's unclear how many migrants Mexico will accept and from which countries exactly, but in return, the U.S. will continue to accept up to 360,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela this year if they apply from overseas, as well as up to 100,000 from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras if they already have family ties in the U.S. Connor Finnegan, ABC News, Mexico City.
After a tip, authorities busted accused Cleveland, Texas mass murderer Francisco Oropesa, found hiding under laundry in a closet in a home 11 miles away. No official announcement yet, but U.S. officials say another $300 million military aid package for Ukraine is in the works. This is ABC News.
Today is the day. Today is the day you empty your garage and closets of your old tech. Today is the day you hang up on that dial-up modem. Today is the day you tell that old GPS to get lost. Because while Staples recycles old tech for free each and every day, today during Staples free tech take back rewards, members get $10 in Staples rewards when they recycle their tech. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples. N617, limit one reward per mod. Exclusions
I'm reading this story. There is another DeSantis scandal. This one's brutal. This one's brutal. Kathy's favorite color? I would say orange. She may disagree with that, but I think it's orange based on things she buys. Mm. It's the last commercial. We're coming back.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back. Third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve is still under the weather. Our number 1 888 Cocaine 1. There is another DeSantis potential scandal here. I got another story. This is, I tell you, what's this guy doing? Well, I will say this. DeSantis has not signed that bill into law, changing Florida law so he can run for president and stay governor. He's not yet signed that, which is kind of curious. They passed that at the end of the week. He signed some other bills into law, but he's not done that one yet. So do you think it's possible he's reconsidering? You know, I'll lay off DeSantis when he announces he's not running and lays off Trump, because he may announce he's not running and then get involved with, Nikki Haley or something against Trump. Who knows? But there's something new has just come out with DeSantis to add on of the stories this week. I'm not going to go through all the stories, but before I share the new one, the two I had yesterday are huge. Yesterday, of course, the story was that when he was in Israel, he said he talked President Trump into moving the embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. That is not true. Trump said it's not true. He said he barely knew DeSantis then, and they never even talked about it. So he lied to the Israelis about that. That's one. And then these two were just yesterday. And then the other one I had yesterday of when his lieutenant governor tweeted in 2016, Nunes, that she tweeted a tweet that said, President Trump's a con man, hashtag anti-Israel, hashtag supports KKK. So DeSantis' handpicked two-time lieutenant governor said that Donald Trump supports the Klan. That's pretty bad. Now, earlier this morning, there was a new poll out. President Trump over 60% in that poll. DeSantis, who was polling in the 40s, he's only at 16 points now, polling at 16% in the latest Emerson poll. 16%. That means that if you're listening to my voice, you are closer in the presidential poll to Ron DeSantis than he is to Trump, and you're not running. You're not even in the poll, right? You have a better chance of catching up to DeSantis in that poll than he has catching up with Trump. So there's been nothing but bad news for DeSantis. And now the GOP, the Florida legislature passed a law that is bizarre and very well scandalous. Now, now this is the second piece of legislation that I've seen that they have passed just for Ron DeSantis to allow him to run and help him run for president. I've never seen legislation passed like this for a person. Have you? And I don't even know if that's... I thought when you pass laws, it had to apply to future people, not to the current. Right? That's what I always thought. But I'm not a lawyer, and these people, you know, these deep state or never Trumpers, you know, the laws and things like that, and that doesn't seem to stop them from anything that they do. But here's the new one, and this one they kind of slipped under the rug. So now they passed the law, the Florida legislature, so he can run for president, not resign for governor. He's not signed it, but listen to this. Republican lawmakers yesterday, this is nuts. This just happened yesterday. Republican lawmakers in Florida Tuesday approved a bill to shield the travel records of Governor Ron DeSantis. The bill, which was passed in the Florida House along a party line vote, 84-31. We got to get someone, maybe Loomer can get on this, and start getting the names of these Republicans in Tallahassee that are in league with the Bush family. The bill, which passed the Florida House along a party line vote, 84-31, after clearing the Senate last month, would exempt the travel history of the governor and their immediate family and the lieutenant governor, as well as cabinet members, the Florida Senate president, the Florida House Speaker, and the Florida State Supreme Court's Chief Justice from public records. They've passed it. He's just got to sign it. So when he signs this, we won't be able to see his travel records. Why do you think he's doing that? Who was he meeting with that he doesn't want us to know about? Who does he plan on meeting with that he doesn't want us to know about? You know, and I don't know that now, will this be like retroactive? Would this mean that like his travel from before the law was passed, that you wouldn't be able to see that? They'll shield it. So do you have to go and get the travel records to find out? And what a lot of this, I would imagine, they say it's for safety. No. He's been, in his first term, was always posting on Twitter where he was going to be, because he was making appearances all the time. Now he doesn't want to know he doesn't want you to know, doesn't want anyone to know where he's traveling to and who he's meeting with. That means he's meeting with donors and people that's creepy to me. It's really unheard of. And so we've got 2 Florida laws that they have changed just to help Ron DeSantis undermine President Trump. Something is major in play here. And I just find it odd that he's not signed any of these laws yet. And also, he's got to be seeing the reaction. They can't shield him from all these stories. You know, this one story that I had with the tweet with the lieutenant governor, he may not have seen that because that was like Loomer and me and a couple other people were talking about that. Didn't make the national news. But the poll of him at 16 points and Trump's over 60, that's in all the mainstream press that I've seen online. So there's no way he has not seen that poll. And he's dropped about 30 points in that poll. So there's no way he'd be able to convince himself that, well, when I announce, that's going to turn around. The poll numbers dropped 30 points because of how he's been behaving. But this one, you know, why would he want to hide where he's traveling to and who he's meeting with? Only if he's meeting with some really bad people that he doesn't want us to know about. We're in completely uncharted territory here with DeSantis. I mean, this guy is... I used to love this guy until about a month ago, and I'm not alone. A lot of you did too. And it's getting worse each and every day. All right, let's take our first break of the hour. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and
tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train. Bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic railroad to connect Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure.
Hello, this is Mike from Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is
Completely self-centered. Who? I missed who that is. Who are you talking about, Troy?
45. I will give you a price.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. Liking the video helps get this video recommended to people that have not yet found
To the
my
Steve
channel.
Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. It's Wednesday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Steve is very under the weather and sick as a dog. He's got a really, really super bad cold, and that's why he's not with us. Hopefully he'll be back with us soon, by the end of the week, I would hope. But I talked to him last night, and he did not sound well. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
All right. Hey, I hear you saying about Trump being, the head of the KKK?
No. I didn't. No. I didn't. No. I said Ron DeSantis' lieutenant governor tweeted that he supports the KKK. No, he's not with the KKK or supports them. No.
Okay, you remember when they was raising sand, they was going around doing all kind of stuff, and the people told him, say, well, why don't Trump say something? Why don't he do something? And Trump sat back and did nothing. And then they told Trump, tell them to stand down. All right? And then Trump decided to tell the KKK, the Proud Boys, to stand down. Now, if that don't mean you got authority, then I don't know what authority is. He's the head of the KKK and the Proud Boys.
Uh-huh. Whatever. Slow down about the. I don't. Forget about the Proud Boys. Let's talk about the KKK. You say President Trump is the head of the KKK. Okay. Can you give me some evidence of that?
Well, the thing is that if you're an authority, let's take for an example a general. He's an authority with his troops. And if he tells his troops to stand down, guess what they do? They stand down. So Trump told the KKK and the Proud Boys this.
No. The KKK. When did he talk to the KKK? I missed that.
The KKK was, they were calling all kind of chaos, and
where was the hold on a second. Hold on. Now let me ask you a question here, okay? The KKK, you're telling me that the KKK were very active when Trump was president, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why? Why were they upset? Why do you think the Klan were upset?
Well, the thing is, Trump was giving them orders.
Trump was giving them orders. Mm-hmm.
Secret words that he would use.
Secret words.
KKK. Yes, he was giving these some kind of a signal or whatever. But then he was giving.
Okay. He gave them secret words. What do the KKK hate more than anything? What is their primary hatred directed towards? The Klan.
Well, the KKK hates blacks.
Okay, black people. They hate black people. Okay. Yeah, they don't like Jews either, but they don't. The KKK really hate black people. In fact, the Democrats formed the KKK as a community activist organization against blacks. If the KKK, we will agree on one thing in this call, you and I, and that's the KKK hate black people. Okay? The KKK, why were the KKK not vocal and active during the 8 years that we had a black president? Don't you think the KKK would have been pretty pissed off that for 8 years we had a black president? Why were they in secret and we didn't hear from them for the 8 years that we had a black president when their primary purpose is hatred of blacks? Can you explain that to me?
Because they didn't have the resources. They didn't have permission to do something.
They didn't have permission. They didn't have, no, they were the same people then as now. Right now, we have a vice president who's, she's biracial, she's black and Gandhi Indian. Why are the KKK not protesting a black vice president everywhere she goes?
Because Trump is not in office.
Okay, because Trump's not in office. Let me explain to you. The KKK does exist. There's a handful of people around the country that are in the Klan. There's no. But the only time you hear about the KKK is when Republicans are in power these days. You don't hear about them when Democrats are in power. Why do you think that is?
Well, because they don't like the Democrats.
Well, if they didn't like the Democrats, wouldn't they be out there protesting that there's a black president, a black vice president, and a Democrat in office? See, the thing about the KKK is there's only a few of them, and they're not very active. They're propped up by Democrats. It's a false flag operation, the Klan.
They're hidden. And see, the thing is that with the
No, they're not hidden. There's just not that many of them, and they're not active.
As long as you got racism in America, trust me, they are hidden. They're hiding. And
listen. I'm not going to get through to you because your mind is closed. But I promise you that if the Klan were an active organization, they would have been protesting Obama for 8 years. And if you go back to remember Charlottesville? Remember Charlottesville?
Mm-hmm.
Go back and look at the footage of the white supremacist in Charlottesville. And in particular, go online and look this up, okay? And I'm serious about this. I'm gonna tell you something that I pointed out at the time. Go back to the Charlottesville footage. Look at the Confederate and Nazi flags that the white supremacists are holding. What you're going to see are small square creases throughout the flags. Why do you think they're there? What are those creases about in the flags?
See, the thing is that it's irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. He's getting nervous. I'm waking him up. He's about to get red pilled, and he's trying to go back in the Matrix. Go to after this call. Go online and look at the Charlottesville events, and in particular. I'm sharing something that I don't think a lot of people have done because we haven't talked about this in a while. Look at the flags. You'll see small square creases in the Confederate and Nazi flags because they're brand new, just taken out of the package. The real Nazis, the real Klan, when they go to a rally, they just take the flag that's been hanging on their wall for years and take it with them. They don't open up new ones. And the creases in the flags show that they're not real white supremacists. They're not real Klansmen. They're Democrat operatives.
Yeah, but the thing is that the truth will make you free.
Oh, right. Oh, boy. What about hard work? Will that set you free, too? Oh, my goodness. He doesn't even realize what he's saying. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Listen, that call, I don't know what happened with that call, but it just went south. But you know what I find interesting, Brian, is a few issues. One, you now cite polls on a regular basis literally every day. And you always said you don't go by polls. You don't pay attention to them. You don't find them relevant. You don't find them accurate. You don't know what type of people they're actually polling, their agenda. Do you recall when you used to say?
That's not the complete thought. What I have said is this. I say what you say, but then hold on. I've said what you said, but there's something that I add to the end of it. Do you know what that is?
Tell me, please.
Okay, you've heard it before. You'll deny it. I'm trying to tell you, but it's hard to speak while you're interrupting. I do not put a lot into polls because they're all weighted against Republicans. And these Trump DeSantis polls, they're weighted against Trump, and he's even still performing well, very well. But what I look for in the polls are the trends. And in every poll, the trend overall with all the polls is Trump way ahead and DeSantis declining in each one. I look at the trends, Greg.
Well, you know what? I don't recall you ever saying that in the past.
I've said it many times.
Be accurate. Look, and you used to say, Steve, don't count on polls. I don't even.
Okay, so you believe that Ron DeSantis is not at 16 points and Trump is not at 62?
I think these polls are irrelevant, right?
They're irrelevant right now, yeah, because your guy's way behind. If it was reversed, all of a sudden they'd become relevant, right?
No, listen, DeSantis hasn't even announced yet. He hasn't signed.
Oh, he hasn't announced yet. He hasn't announced it. That's why he's at 16 and Trump's at 62, because he hasn't announced?
No, because you know why? Because who's paying? The other day you lied to your callers. I hope they're all listening to you right now. You said that Trump does not spend money on attacking DeSantis. You said that to me. I said, and then within 15 minutes later.
I didn't say that. And by the way, you confuse being mistaken with lying. Okay? If every mistake is a lie, you're not being honest with yourself. Someone can say something and be mistaken and not be lying, right?
No, you lied though.
No, I don't lie. I may have said something that was inaccurate. I don't know that I did. But you confuse being mistaken with lying. There's a difference, right?
Listen, of course there's a difference, but in my opinion, you lie.
Oh, in my opinion! Well, in your credible opinion, it's time for a break. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. See, this... if you were watching at the beginning, I found this new Starbucks that's open at 5 a.m. that has a drive-through. I've been going to this week, and they've been giving me coffee with no coffee in it. And the last 2 days on the show, I was just I didn't realize I was going through caffeine withdrawals, but I feel so much better today than I did on Monday, and yesterday was awful. Oh my goodness. Oh, hold on, I gotta go tell Mike something. Hold on. Be right back, guys.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Expressway still crash free this morning. We're moving slowly on 95 heading southbound. Down to Atlantic Avenue, northbound side of I-95 from Deerfield Beach into Boca. Same now for the Turnpike. The Turnpike is also moving slowly north. We have a crash on 6th Avenue south at I-95. Palm Beach Heights Boulevard at Village Boulevard. Also on Palmetto Park Road at 441. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's Ralph from Coos Farm.
Traffic is service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out this Friday for dinner at his show with the hilarious Jimmy Schubert live at the Paddock Restaurant in PBKC. Jimmy is the last comic standing finalist, actor, and comedian that you absolutely need to see live. This Sunday, treat mom to a special day in the Paddock for a delicious Mother's Day brunch buffet with live music and Hoffman's treats for mom. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
If you're a homeowner, this
just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, so if the weather is nice on Saturday, if it's rainy, I'm not going to do it. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. If it's, I'll do it another weekend. But if it's a beautiful day on Saturday, I'll ride the I'll make a new vlog, not a live stream, a vlog, and I'll debut the MAGA Scooter 2.0. I'll go up to Mar-a-Lago, and then I'll show the stores where Melania goes shopping, the real stores, which are really upscale, really upscale. And you'll see when you see the people up there. They all look like the Kennedys, you know.
Healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I will advocate clients are family, and they give back.
The last time I vlogged up there, I showed the church where President Trump and Melania were married, and some of the famous people that live around Mar-a-Lago. I went to Rush Limbaugh's mansion. I went to Jeffrey Epstein's house. Did you guys see that video?
A sniffle here and a sneeze there.
So maybe, let me ask you this. This is something I was thinking about doing. Would you like to see the McDonald's where President Trump gets his McDonald's from? Maybe I'll show you guys that too. The McDonald's of Mar-a-Lago. The chicken nuggets taste like $1 billion at that McDonald's. President Trump likes the fillet of fish. So I'll have to get a Trump fillet of fish. All right. All righty, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. One opening on our very busy board. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You're on the air. What's your name?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Deerfield. What's up?
Hey, Brian. Brian, the numbers that we're seeing from these polls and the numbers, say, on DeSantis, Trump, Fox News, and RFK Jr. are so fascinating. We're not just seeing a little dip in Fox News and DeSantis. We're seeing a cratering in these guys. The numbers are just pathetic. But what's fascinating, I saw one for RFK Jr. I think was up to 24% in the polls.
Really? I haven't seen that one yet. And, RFK, yesterday, he said that he's going to pardon Julian Assange and Snowden.
Whoa, I didn't see that. Okay. Now, is he going to be able to force Biden into debates within the Democratic Party?
I don't think so. But, the thing that this is Bobby Kennedy Jr., man. This is not just the governor of someplace. I mean, he's, that name means something. And even I would be excited to, I'm not interested in meeting many celebrities and politicians, and certainly not any Democrats, but I'd love to meet Bobby Kennedy and shake his hand. That's as close as I'll get to President Kennedy, It's cool.
Yeah, I saw an ad yesterday where they showed that his father, I guess it was 50 years ago, running for president. Here is his son running now. You could feel it tugging at the heartstrings, whether you're,
Well, that's right. And I know they're getting desperate because they're talking about Michelle Obama running for president. And yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Michelle Obama's never had a job, and she's not going to start working all of a sudden, and it's not going to happen.
Well, I certainly hope not. That's kind of really digging kind of deep.
But Bobby Kennedy, the thing about Bobby Kennedy is that he is going to cause, and I think it's already happening, a great Democrat Party divide, because there's a lot of Democrats that with all this transgender and weirdo stuff that's going on, like there's a story out today that the Navy has their own Bud Light thing going on. They have some drag transgender thing for recruiting in the Navy. And it's all over the place today. And there's a lot of Democrats that feel held hostage. And Bobby Kennedy is giving them a voice.
We were talking about taking Biden down from the inside with Bobby Kennedy.
That's right.
It's a challenge to this guy. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
He's doing a great thing. The only thing I would recommend is that he calls himself Bobby, not Robert. But that's a minor thing, because I call him, if I had him here, I'd probably call him Mr. Kennedy, I mean, there's just, he's a player, and I find it interesting. His cousin, Carolyn, is Biden's ambassador to Australia, and she's been silent. I haven't heard her say anything about Robert Kennedy.
The last I heard, the Kennedy family weren't going to back him that much. I don't know if that's just...
Well, but they're not trashing him, and I promise you the Democrats have talked to her to try to get her to stop him. And this new poll, I got to look for that. You saw Bobby Kennedy at 24 points. I'll look for that.
Yeah, I saw one place that it coming out with a 21, but I saw it at 24.
Wow.
The thing about Bobby Kennedy, he's a very intelligent guy. It's just a shame that he doesn't have the speaking voice to,
Well, hey, listen, don't fall in love. He's still a Democrat. Okay? We just want to use him to divide the Democrats in the primaries.
We have ulterior motives here.
Exactly.
I gotta make a comment on Lawrence Jones. He seems like a nice guy in that, but that's not going to work. Replacing Tucker with Lawrence Jones. They don't have anybody to replace Tucker. The bullpen's empty over there at Fox News, and they look so desperate and pathetic now.
Yeah.
And they're getting what they deserve. They don't go to the Trump rallies. They're anti-Trump, anti-MAGA. I think people are seeing this, even the people that don't follow things so close.
Fox News will never recover from what they've done. They'll never recover. It's beyond repair at this point.
Are we a little worried, though, that we're down to just Newsmax and podcasts, second station, conservative station? Because
No, I'll tell you why. This town hall meeting next week on CNN, next Wednesday night with Donald Trump, the main reason that they're doing that is competition. Fox News was so far ahead, they had no hopes. And now the other, CNN sees CNN looks at Fox News and say, well, maybe we can be number one again. There's a chance here, they're going to be number one Wednesday night with Trump. I know that. But long term, and in the capitalist system, you get competition among people and organizations and businesses and companies, and it improves whatever they're producing. So no, I think that there's competition among the cable news, and that means that some of them are going to have to start reporting the truth as opposed to spoon feeding us. Listen, appreciate the call.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, you said Michelle Obama never had a job before?
Correct.
She's had multiple jobs. She was a Harvard lawyer.
Really? What were her jobs?
Austin.
What was her job?
Austin.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. You got to pick up the phone or get your mouth closer to the Bluetooth speaker so I can understand you. Can you list? I can hear you, but it's hard to understand you clearly. So I want people to hear this. Can you tell us the jobs that Michelle Obama has had?
She was a lawyer at Sidley Austin.
She was a lawyer. What cases did she handle?
I don't work at Sidley Austin.
Okay. So you don't know of any?
RFK is a lawyer. What cases does he handle?
Oh, I don't know. He's got a big trust fund. He doesn't have to work. He's got the Kennedy Trust. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Michelle. Okay, so she had a job at a law firm, but we've never heard about any cases she handled. Any other jobs that you know of she had?
She worked as an associate dean at the University of Chicago.
Oh, and what did she do there? What did she do there?
Associate dean. Let me just say, I don't want her to run.
Okay. Now, a lot of times, let me explain these things to you. Okay, a lot of these jobs are fake jobs. You know, when the Clintons left office, NBC News gave a job to Chelsea Clinton, paying her $50,000 a month. She did one story. They were paying her $50,000 a month. So a lot of these people, like Michelle Obama had another job working for the hospital district in Chicago. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? You know? Okay. These are fake jobs. She had a job at the hospital district, and her boss was Valerie Jarrett. These are jobs that you don't have to do anything. These are jobs where you don't have to report to work. These are jobs that they give people as payoffs. Don't you get it?
Her first job was before she met Obama. Why would people?
But you don't know of anything she did as a lawyer. Like for example, Obama. Well, if you're gonna call in and defend it, you should know. Like Obama. Those are fake jobs. Those are fake jobs. No, but do you know? You say it was before she met Obama. She was very politically connected before Obama. Do you know who Michelle Obama's best friend was in high school? Jesse Jackson's daughter was Michelle Obama's best friend in high school. She's always, well, see, I know what I'm talking about. I don't just shoot my mouth off. Those are fake, those are jobs, caller, those are jobs where you don't have to do any work. Those are jobs they give connected. It's like, okay, it's like Hunter was on the board of directors of Burisma. Okay, so that's a fake job. Michelle's jobs are fake jobs.
One question real quick before I go.
Sure.
You know how Florida's passing the law so DeSantis can run?
Yes, they passed it.
I didn't know that. How do you feel about the legislature who drafted the bill?
I think we need to know the names of the Republicans in the legislature that voted for that law and have them on a forever list. Okay, take care. All right, we're up against the break. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Hey, metals looking very good after yesterday's $34.10 rally, pushing gold all the way up to $2,016.60 the ounce on the close. We traded yesterday at a low of $1,978 and a high of $2,020. Silver closed up 41 cents yesterday at $25.36 the ounce, while platinum was up $15 at $1,065, and palladium lost $18 at $1,360 the ounce. Gold this morning trading in a range overnight from $2,008, well above the $2,000 number, all the way up to $2,020. Currently at $2,011, that's down $5.60. Silver down 26 cents right now at $25.10. Platinum down $10 at $1,055, and palladium up $5 at $1,365. So metals starting to build a base. It looks like above that $2,000 number.
Awesome.
That should carry us to the tackle those all-time highs of around $2,060. Once we get through that, the sky's the limit.
This is amazing. And, you know, I had a listener ask me a question. Guys, don't ask me anything about the metals. Call William Youngerman's. They open up at 10 a.m. and they'll answer your questions. But they did ask a very good question. And, you know, when we first met you was right after a hurricane, and there was no electricity, and the banks couldn't do business, and you were doing business. You had people lined up at your shop. You were doing business with the metals, the people that needed money to get through. I think it was Hurricane Wilma, if I remember correctly. But a listener said, you know, with bank closures and everything, when it comes to the metals, are there any particular types of metals that they should purchase and hold on to when they're in need of cash right away and they can't get to the bank?
Silver and are your two, key metals, and those we're always in the market to buy and sell at any given time. And in times of stress like hurricanes and things, we do maintain reserves for our clients to be able to cash in gold or silver or whatever they have to do to get through some hard times. And
yeah,
that's what you're talking about when the hurricanes came.
Yeah.
Shut down everything for weeks, and people couldn't even get insurance money or anything to fix their roofs or do a lot of needed things. So their gold and silver came in very handy, and it's something that doesn't wash away or get destroyed by.
That's right.
And it stood that trying test and proved to be very beneficial, and we were there for our customers.
And I know with gold, a lot of times, I don't know if you recommend this or not. Maybe you do. But I know a lot of times people buy a fractional gold in case they need just a little bit of money, and they have like a half ounce, and they don't have to get rid of a whole ounce, or maybe they don't have to sell a bar of silver. They buy smaller denominations when they need a little cash. All right, now, if you have any questions involving the metals, please do not ask me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do what I do. I ask William Youngerman, right? His number over there is 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com, or stop right in, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just immediately east and on the south side, east of Federal, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Indeed it is, and there is only one opening on our board where William Youngerman was at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, it's Mike in Boca.
Hey, Mike.
A couple of things. It's really petty for whoever's leaking this crap from Fox News.
Oh, and Tucker.
Or all of it is like stuff that he does every day at work. I mean, it's just people talking. And it's in between the takes, and he's just, talking. I don't understand it. It's petty.
Well, there was these things that they've leaked out about Tucker Carlson to Media Matters. Megyn Kelly, who's in the know, says, Megyn Kelly, who's in the know, says it's the PR person, and she says her name. I don't remember the name, but the PR person at Fox News has been doing this. And the outtakes that they're showing of Tucker are so mild. I've seen outtakes of Laura Ingraham where she's dropping the F word, screaming at her staff. Okay? And Bill O'Reilly, the famous Bill O'Reilly, and if these are the best outtakes they have of Tucker Carlson that just make him look super cool and normal in the same way off the air that he is on the air, they're not gonna gain much ground with it.
Lawrence Jones is a good guy, but he's not going to be able to handle that.
Yeah. I'm getting the directions from Google Maps or the iMaps in the background. I'm getting the wherever you're going, you're giving everybody the directions, Mike in Boca. I heard 44th Street. Was it turn right? I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Helen from Massachusetts.
Oh, hey, Helen.
Hey, I'm calling regarding Big Mike. I remember a law class I took, a tort class, and it was during her husband's second term.
Wait. Who are you talking about?
Big Mike.
Who's Big Mike?
Obama.
Oh, Michelle Obama. Okay, Big Mike. Okay.
For those who still believe that, well, not still, but they believe that she's a guy. But anyways, I didn't want to insult anyone.
Remember what? Hey, listen, be careful. Remember, Joan Rivers said that, and she was dead not long after. So.
That's true. That's very true. Anyway, I was taking a tort class, and I think it was her husband's second term. One of the students in my class talked about Michelle Obama, and she doesn't have a license. She can't practice law in the country.
Really?
Her license, yes. She was asked to turn in her law license because she was involved in an insurance fraud.
Really?
Now, we didn't,
I've never heard this.
Our law instructor didn't go into detail about that. What we're discussing is that some attorneys, even though they're not licensed, do a lot of research to help the attorney.
There's lots of law grads that can't pass the bar, or they've been disbarred, so they find other work. Yeah.
Well, according to what was discussed in my classes, she was asked to return her law license because she was going to be disbarred.
You know, I don't know anything about that, but it does sound familiar. I'm going to look into that. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I like the nickname. I've not heard that one before with Michelle, but I like that one.
It's all over Kettering. They call her Big Mike.
Okay, well, you know, okay, on Twitter. Okay, Big Mike.
It's on Twitter, so.
Really? Well,
It was on Twitter.
Well, listen, next time I see Elon Musk up at the Cape for a SpaceX launch, I'll put in a good word for you to get you back on the Twitter. You're on the air. What's your name?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah. Man, you guys are up to your racist tricks as usual. Now, let me tell you, wasn't it at a Trump rally where one of you guys yelled out white power and did it twice? And you were real proud of that?
No. First off, slow down. I've never heard of that happening. If it did happen, I cannot imagine MAGA people being proud of that. I could imagine a liberal undercover wearing a MAGA hat saying it, but no, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, wow, we're real smart.
I've seen liberals in MAGA gear more than once at Trump events. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
We're hiding.
Well, no, I'm not familiar with the incident you're talking about, and I know that if someone started talking like that at a Trump rally, the MAGA people would shut them down. We wouldn't tolerate that racist behavior.
You're lying.
Really? You think that I would not take issue with someone yelling white power? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
And you know that I have an interracial family, right? You know I'm a black parent, correct?
No, you don't.
Hey, I'm a black parent. Yes, I am. I'm a black parent.
You should have your daughter find her real father.
I'm her father.
No, her birth father.
I'm her real father.
Her birth father. You know how biology works, right?
Well, liberals don't seem to. They don't even know that there's only two genders.
The subject.
What do you mean change the subject? I set the subject. I'm hosting the show. This isn't open phones.
Father.
I'm her father. Why would I do that?
Because you're a racist. You're just like Thomas Jefferson.
What does that mean?
Thomas Jefferson raped a 13-year-old girl.
You're calling me a rapist? Excuse me. You didn't mean to say that. I know you're you don't like me. That's okay, Renee. A lot of people don't like me. But you didn't just call me a rapist, did you?
Thomas Jefferson was a rapist.
You said I'm just like Thomas Jefferson. I asked you what that means. You didn't mean to say that.
You kidnapped a black girl and won't tell her who her real father is.
My daughter knows she's adopted. She doesn't match her parents.
So where's the birth father?
I don't know. The birth father and mother put her up for adoption and signed the adoption paperwork. Both of them, the birth father and the mother, both signed the adoption papers.
So you know who her birth father is?
I met the birth mother, not the birth father, but they both signed. We have a very good adoption attorney, Charlotte Dansu in Boca, and she makes sure that the father signed the adoption papers too.
Man.
What?
You racist, really. You like to play with...
Yeah, I know. All the racists adopt black children and raise black children. I know. That's what all the racists do. Oh, boy.
Yeah. You're a racist. Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give me an example of my racism.
Well,
let's start at the beginning. Obama did he win twice?
Yeah. And I did not vote for him. No. We're not. Listen, don't get nervous. We're almost out of time for the day. Give me one example of my racism, something I have said or done that's racist.
Well, let's see. You like Rush Limbaugh.
That's not racist. He's one of the greatest broadcasters in history. That's not racist. Something racist.
What?
Oh my! Now we can't hear me. Here come the mysterious cell phone connection problems. I don't listen. I'm not accountable for everything someone does. I mean, if you watch football, are you accountable for all the crimes of professional football players? I mean, come on. Oh my goodness, Renee. Now, I want to take a moment to tell you about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, who is a true miracle worker. I know he's a chiropractic physician. I call him the miracle worker because he has on 3 occasions rid me of terrible pain. Most recently, my shoulder injury. I was in so much pain in my shoulder, I was almost on the verge of tears. I went in without calling ahead, without any appointment. Late in the day, as they were about to close the office on Friday, he treated me with his laser away pain treatment, and I woke up Saturday morning pain-free. That was a month ago, this Friday, and I'm still pain-free. He rid me of my arthritis pain, and he rid me of my years of suffering after a knee injury on my skateboard. It's amazing. Amazing. And every time I go see Dr. Appleton, I run into a listener, and and when we're on our cruise, they tell me what a great job he did relieving them of their pain. You know, I thought arthritis was just part of getting older. Well, I guess I got to get used to it. I'm getting older. Arthritis, pains, creaks, being uncomfortable. That is not true. The laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and it works on all kinds of pains too. Arthritis, bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, neck pain, back injuries, knee conditions like I had, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, rotary tears, herniated discs, acute pain, chronic pain, some other pains that I can't pronounce the medical terms of. If you're in pain, go see Dr. Appleton, all right? You can find him online at appletonchyro.com or give him a call directly, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. He's open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and even on Saturdays, appointments are not needed and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. Listen, everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I hope Steve will be back tomorrow. He is really under the weather, people. Really bad chest cold. And, of course, we pray and wish Steve to get well soon. Those of you that called in, even Renee, great calls today. Thanks so much. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And stand strong on the Fox News boycott. I'm a week and a day Fox-free, and I feel much better for it. Okay? Don't fall for their tricks to get you to watch. Okay? God bless America, and, of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
All right, guys, I got to run. Thanks for watching.